Hi, I'm Zach, and this is Challenger Vedic Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. So, today we're talking about timing events, specifically the timing of foreign travel, moving to a foreign country. And if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Really helps out me and the channel. And to be notified whenever I release a new video, be sure to hit the bell icon and select all. If you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box in the comments below. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. Timing events. We haven't really talked about that on the channel here. So we're talking about foreign travel. Moving to a foreign country. Now, when we're discussing this, it's very important to look at certain factors. So, big factors we gotta look at is the fourth house. Fourth house is your home. So we gotta look at the fourth house and the fourth lord, especially if you're moving to a foreign country. Now, if you're just traveling, the third, the ninth, and the 12th lords have to be involved. Now, not just the lords, but also their houses. Third house, because third house is 12th from the fourth house. It's the furthest place away from your homeland. So that's why third house can show foreign travel. Ninth house is long distance travel, pilgrimage. So that can also show foreign travel. And 12th house is foreign lands. Furthest place away from where you were born. Because first house is you being born. Okay. So, those are some factors that we look at. But we also have to look at the Batrakarka, planet with the third highest degree. This is a Jaimini Karka, but we do use it even in Parashari astrology. And we also look at Jupiter and the moon, because these are major significators of travel. Jupiter originally rules the 9th and 12th houses. These are houses tied to travel. Moon is the fastest moving planetary body. That is why moon is a significator of travel. And moon originally rules the 4th house. So when it comes to home, looking at the moon is important. So we're going to look at these factors. I also usually look at Chara Dasha, but I haven't taught you all sign-based dashas yet, so we're not going to get into that. But yeah, we're going to look at this person's chart and see why they would have moved when they did. So let's get into it. Okay, so here we have the birth chart of this person. We have their birth chart on the left, and we have their D9 Navamsa. Looking at both is very important. Because birth chart is a person's early life, and the Navamsa is a person's later life, from their 30s onwards. Now, this person moved to a foreign country, July 14th, 2024. Okay, so they were in their Ketu, Saturn, Venus, Vimshotri period. Alright, and right off the bat, Venus is their Batrakarka, planet with the third highest degree. They're running this Ketu, Saturn, Venus. That's the the Mahadasha, the Antarctica, and the Pre-Antarctica period from June 21st to August 27th. Okay, so when we look at this, we see Saturn's in the 8th house. I mean, Ketu's in the 2nd house. It's not really showing us much. Not from the ascendant, at least. But Saturn is in the 8th with Rahu. Now, Rahu is also tied to foreign lands. Rahu is very important for this. And Saturn is the 9th lord of long-distance travel. Okay, so we see right off the bat, Saturn can take this person to a faraway place. Now Venus is in the 9th house. So we also see Venus can show travel. But now, we also want to look from the moon. This is also very important. Remember, you look at dashas from the ascendant and from the moon. Now, when you make moon the ascendant, we see Ketu is now in the 9th house. So we see long distance travel could take place during this Ketu Mahadasha for this person. And we see Saturn is in the 3rd house. Remember, 3rd house is 12th from the 4th house, furthest place from a person's homeland. And it's with Rahu. Rahu is foreign lands, foreign places. And we see Venus is in the 4th house from the moon. So Venus is also showing something tied to the home could take place. Now, what we also look at is from the Mahadasha Lord itself. So we look from Ketu, what would happen? Hold up. Okay, it wasn't letting me rotate the chart for a second. Alright, fixed it. Okay. So, we're looking from the Mahadasha Lord itself, making Ketu the ascendant now. When we do this, we see Ketu's in the 1st house. Its dispositor, because you always look at the dispositor of Rahu and Ketu, is in the 5th house. That's not really showing foreign travel. But Saturn is in the 7th. 7th is also furthest place away from you, because it's directly opposite. So we see Saturn is also kind of showing foreign travel here. And now we also look at that Venus. Venus is the 4th lord in the 8th house. Sudden change of home could take place during that sub period. Now, the Navamsha could show us something. We do see Ketu is in the 9th house in the Navamsha. But that's not the big factor here. The big factor is when we look at the divisional chart tied to a person's home, tied to travel. So we're going to pull that up. The D4 Chatrathamsa chart. So now we're looking at the D4 chart of this person. We see right off the bat there are Pisces ascendant in this chart, which shows they could live in a foreign home at some point. And we see Ketu and Saturn are conjunct in this chart. When you see planets in conjunction, a Mahadasha Lord and an Antardasha Lord, you see that something could take place tied to the home during this time period. During that Mahadasha and Antardasha period. So Ketu Saturn is when this person would get a foreign home. Now, we also want to look at the Vimshotri from the ascendant. This is another way of looking at a person's life. The base Vimshotri is from the moon's nakshatra, but the Vimshotri from the ascendant is from the ascendant nakshatra. Both are very important to look at. And when we look at this, we see this person was running Mercury Ketu. Mars. So, from the ascendant, we don't really see much happening here. Mercury's in the 11th house. Ketu's in the 2nd house. So, not much really going on there. But, we do see that Mars is in the 9th house. So, once again, showing this person could travel to a far-off place during that time period. But now, we make Mercury the ascendant. And when we do this, we see Ketu is in the 4th house from Mercury, cutting a person away from their home, separating them from their homeland. And then the dispositor of Ketu is in the 8th, so we see sudden change to the home. And then Mars is in the 11th, not really showing anything tied to travel, outside of being conjunct that Bhatrakarka Venus. But that's very minor. Alright, so that's the Vimshotri from the ascendant and from the moon that we've looked at. Now, we want to look at the Yogini Dasha. Yogini Dasha is also very important. And we see here, Jupiter Moon began running on July 14th, the day this person moved. Jupiter and Moon are the significators of travel. So even if they aren't in houses tied to travel, they're still the significators of travel. So we clearly see why this person would have moved during this time period. And now we'd also look at their transits. So we're going to look at their transits next. Now, when we look at their transits for July 14th, let's see here. Okay. So, July 14th, we see from the ascendant, Mars and Jupiter are in the 12th house of foreign lands. Saturn is retrograde in the 9th house. This outer ring is the ongoing transits, by the way. The inner square is the birth chart. I know this can look confusing. Okay. So, Mars and Jupiter in the 12th house for this person. We clearly see that can show long distance foreign travel. And we see Saturn retrograde in the 9th. 9th house is tied to long distance travel, but the retrograde is going into the 8th house, acting like it's there. Sudden travel. That can also denote that. And we see Ketu is transiting in this person's 4th house, separating them from their homeland. Now we're also going to look at the transits from the moon, because that's also very important. So from the moon. Oh, and yeah, okay. So now from the moon, we see Saturn is in the 4th house, retrograde, acting like it's in the 3rd house with this Rahu. It'll be transiting over that Rahu. That's how this works when we're looking at retrograde. So we see it's in the house of the home, but it's acting like it's going far away from the home because it's moving to the 3rd house. 3rd house, furthest place away from your homeland. And we also see Mars and Jupiter in the 7th house. 7th house is the furthest place away from you. Now, we also look at this person's sun. We read the transits from there as well. Remember, ascendant is you. Moon is your mind and your emotions, but sun is your soul. So looking at transits from the sun is also very important. And when we look at this, Saturn is in the 12th house, retrograde. Now 12th house is tied to foreign lands, but Saturn is acting like it's in the 11th house. So a person's desire to go to a foreign land can be shown with this. Now we also see Mars and Jupiter are in this person's 3rd house from their sun. This shows foreign travel because it's 12th from the 4th house. And then we see Sun, the focus is in the 4th house of home. So we clearly see that this person could have very well moved to a foreign country during this time. And I personally know this to be true. But alright, so let's go back to the big view of me. Okay, so, yeah, this has been looking at the timing of foreign travel, and now for the big reveal. This was actually my birth chart that we were looking at. Yeah, I actually moved to Japan here recently. Not sure if it's going to be a permanent move yet, or just temporary, but I'm definitely enjoying my time here. I'll be here for 3 to 6 months, something like that. So, yeah, look forward to more videos from Japan. I'll probably end this with a slideshow showing some of the sites I've seen and stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely enjoying my time here. Hopefully you all have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Really helps out me in the channel to be notified whenever I release a new video. Be sure to hit the notification bell icon and select all. And if you'd like a Vedic Sidereal birth chart, a personal tarot reading, or an astrology consultation, links to those will be in the description box and the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. From Japan.